Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and welcome to our Love Relationship series. I'm here with Ebony, and I'm here with Dr. Vandana Sukdeo. Sukdeo. And she's, hold on, let me get her fiance up. We are joined by Judge Carlos Moore, and they are newly engaged. And in 2023, they found each other some type of way. I don't know if it was conventional. I don't know if it was a run into. I don't, but we're going to find all that out today. So, Dr. Van Day, I'm going to call you Vandy, okay? Is that okay if I call you
That's
Vandy?
perfectly fine. That's my
Dr.
childhood
Van.
nickname. So,
Okay. So, Vandy, tell us about yourself.
so a little bit about me. I'm a physician by training. I then went ahead and did an executive MBA and transitioned over into the healthcare administration side. So now I'm a healthcare executive for a cancer hospital, and
Okay.
that what's really taken up most of my time, most of my days.
All right, Judge Moore.
Good evening. I work in Mississippi, Mississippi, as well as practicing attorney for the past.
Uh-oh. Just a little bit more. He's in Jackson right now, and he is a judge in Grenada, Mississippi. And you are a judge in Grenada in Batesville, Mississippi, right?
Grenada and Clarksdale.
Clarksdale. Okay, Clarksdale, Mississippi. Okay, that's good. So, how in the world? And I saw you say this. It's like the Cosby Show. It's the lawyer and the doctor. Like, how in the world did you all find each other? How'd you find each other?
I think it
And
was.
who made the first move?
I think it was fate. We had a mutual friend in common. '86, he had university in Atlanta. He had Kayla that invited Andy to college with her at the University of Miami, and colleague, National Cross State frat brother with Kappa Alpha Psi. So before I accepted the invitation, because it was in Atlanta, I live in Mississippi, I made sure to ask available single women there on the station, going to women there, and that I time that enticed me even to come celebrate with my friends. I bought the airport.
Wait a minute, you bought what? Because you kind of going in and out. You bought what?
I purchased an airline ticket
Okay.
to Atlanta. I reserved my hotel room, had my room for 2 nights.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. It's going in and out. So I'm gonna let Vandy take over. So he purchased an airline ticket, Vandy,
Yeah.
and what?
So babe, maybe come a little closer to the microphone. So, how it happened really was we have a mutual friend, Stephen Fowler, in Atlanta. And Stephen invited us to celebrate with him for his law firm's 11th year anniversary. And it was a beautiful Gatsby themed gala. And he invited myself, and I know Stephen from college. We went to the University of Miami together. And Carlos knows him from being in the law world, in addition to being fraternity brothers. They're both members of Kappa Alpha Psi. So Carlos, as Carlos was saying that, Carlos called Stephen and he's like, hey, I'd love to come to your party. Will there be any single women there? Because Carlos was very intentional. He had to buy a plane ticket. He had to buy a hotel room. He wanted to make sure that, it was an intentional trip, an intentional reason to be in Atlanta. And he was intentionally looking for someone. So uh, Carlos did that. Stephen said, yeah, there'll be single women there. So I attended the party all dressed up in my gala outfit, my Gatsby gala outfit. Carlos came to the party all dressed up in his beautiful, he had a blue jacket on with a bit of a velvet pattern trim going on. And that's where we met at the gala.
So Carlos, you went. Or is she saying that you went with the intention of meeting a mate?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. Okay. And you saw. I'm sure there were other women there,
there were.
right? So what was it about Vandy? Did you make a move? Because she's just at the gala.
Yes, I made the move, and
I can't. This is so good, and I can't hear him.
And I walked up to the table where she was
Uh-huh.
and asked her, she said yes. We started small talk. I probably stayed 5 to 10 minutes. I stepped back to the crowd and walked up.
Come a little closer.
I eventually came back and drink. I got the phone number.
Okay. So he said that he went to her table, he talked to her, he got her phone number. And okay, so Vandy, like, did he call you that night? Did he call you later?
Okay, so I was sitting at the table at the gala by myself, and Carlos he came over. He asked if he can have a seat at the table if anyone was sitting there. Is it okay if he sat down like a true gentleman? I had noticed him before standing around the table, so I was pleasantly happy that he did come over and ask to sit down. So after that, we talked for a bit. You know, we just sort of flirted a little, got to know each other a little bit, the very basics.
Okay.
Then he left for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, came back after, asked if I'd like a drink. And then he went and got me a drink. And at that point, I knew that he was going to stick around.
Okay.
He came back after he scoped the room to make sure that there was
okay, so we go from meeting at the gala, you got your phone number, you're having a conversation, and were you looking for a mate? Carlos was intentional, so we know he was looking for a mate. Were you looking for someone? Were you looking for love?
I was most definitely looking for love. I had re-entered the dating market, I would say probably at the end of 2019. And at that point, I was intentionally looking. I was satisfied with my career, satisfied with where I was, job-wise, my lifestyle, etc. And I think the next part of my lifestyle that was missing was finding a mate and moving into the next chapter. So I was very intentional with finding someone. Yes.
Okay. Carlos, we're going to try this one more with you again. So when did you make it exclusive with Vandy?
We became on
April?
Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend.
So after,
okay.
So probably 3 weeks later.
Okay. So because we saw the party online, we saw that, and then we start seeing the sweeping off your feet. Like, Vandy, could you just believe it?
No. This was so
okay. Good.
It was everything that I had ever dreamed of happening in reality. So from the day that we left the gala, I actually reached out to him. I sent him a message to make sure that he got back home safe and sound. Okay. And then the very next day he called and we were on the phone for hours, for at least for the first week or so until I went to visit him, which was that Memorial Day party that you saw.
Ebony, do you have any questions?
I do. So this is for Dr. Vandy. I'm actually first and then we'll pivot to Carlos. So you mentioned it was a little bit of flirting back and forth. Give us ladies that are just dating and looking around, kind of what was the flirting like? Like, just kind of give a little example of what the banter was like. Because sometimes, when you're dating, you don't want to come across as too flirtatious. You don't want to give off the wrong message. So give us Dr. Vandy's subtle flirting tips.
Okay. So I was very confident with it. I knew that there was a reason for him to come into the table and talk to me in the first place. And an even better reason for him to come back the second time and ask if I wanted a drink. So I remember one of the lines I used was, "How is the dating in Mississippi?" I knew the answer to that already, but I just wanted to make sure that he knew the answer to that.
Okay, that's smart.
Love that. And Carlos, what was your response to that?
I made it clear I was unavailable and had not found.
Carlos said, I ain't wasting no time.
He came there to find a mate.
He
And
was intentional. It's lining up for sure.
And I think that's very good because I think a lot of women who are intentional, who like Vandy have been looking for someone, looking for love now that she has her life together. It's hard to find a man who has a bottom line. Like, I'm not playing, I don't have time to waste. Like, let's see if we can talk. So you talked a little while, you came together Memorial Day weekend. I saw the party and I was like, oh, she's so pretty. And I was like, okay, is this what we're doing? Like, okay, I'm ready. And I mean, y'all have taken me on a ride and I have enjoyed all of it. Let me just say that. I have enjoyed all of it. And I just love it. And that's one reason y'all here today, because it's just seems like it's so much love. And that leads me to my next question. How long before you got engaged? Like 2 months after you met, right?
2.5 months.
So how is it? Are you in love, or are you on your way to being in love?
For me, certain.
Do what?
I said I'm in love. I'm not on my way to love. I'm in love.
Ah!
Vandy,
you're next.
I'm certainly in love, but there's a two-part to that two-part answer to that question.
Okay.
I'm definitely in love, but every time Carlos and I spend more time together, there's something new I learn about him, and I even fall more in love with him. So I'm learning him more and more each time, the more time we spend together. So it's falling deeper in love, I guess you could say, or falling more in love.
Not Moore. I got you.
Yes, Moore.
So I guess because it's almost similar to I'm divorced, but my ex-husband and I, we got married in 8 months. We talked on the phone, we met, he flew me to Hawaii, we spent 4 days together. He told me in October he wanted me to have a wedding because he was not going to end the holidays without a wife, and I was going to be the wife. And I picked him up at the airport. We spent 5 more days together, and then on the 6th day we got married. And we were married for 9.5 years. So I know it can happen. So, and I think for me, I knew I liked him a lot. And I think that's so important. You have to like the person, because even if you have a problem, you still have to be able to come back to that person. So how are you all's friendship level? Like, where's your friendship foundation? Because you got to have that.
We are great friends. We enjoy it. If I was not romantic about Vandy, I would still want to be a friend. She's a cool individual, very poised, classy, has her stuff together. She have to get ready. She's already ready. And so that's what I like from day one.
I love it.
Andy is my partner, ready for prime.
One of the questions that we have here is, do they live together now that they are engaged? I'm going to let Carlos, I'm going to let Vandy say it, and then I'll let you come in for a little bit. So, Vandy, could you answer that question?
No, we are not currently living together since we've gotten engaged.
Okay. What is your living situation?
So we're still living in different residences. We do spend almost every weekend together.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So in a way, it really does feel like we're together quite a lot throughout the week. So yes.
Now, Carlos, I know you've been married before, and I know I was married, and it was the Navy, so it was kind of like this. So if you go from every day to someone to every once in a while, like, how is this working for you? How is this working for you? And how is it different? And how will you be different with Vandy?
This is working well.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. Yeah. The relationship well. We
No, we can't hear it now. Can you type it right there and I'll just reiterate it? Can you just type a little bit? So Vandy, well let me ask you, how is it working for you? I mean, I know you're a director, doctor in Miami at a cancer research center. So how is this working for you?
So it works. It works for me very well. So I've transitioned over into the healthcare executive side. So I don't see. I'm not patient facing anymore. I don't do clinical work anymore. So that definitely helps because my position is a bit of a hybrid position. So the hybrid lifestyle does work out for us in that sense.
Okay.
And like I said, we see each other almost every weekend. So the time that we are not together, we're living we're busy living our lives, our careers, and working and doing that. So,
Okay.
mhm.
Ebony, do you have anything?
I do. So is there a plan? Because for me, marriage is what you make it, what you guys determine the marriage to be about. It doesn't have to be with anyone else's values, so on and so forth. So is there a plan, like after you get married, you'll cohabitate, or will you guys kind of have like, this out of state marriage, kind of thing?
Well, we're both traditionalists, so the plan is for her to reside with me once we're married.
Okay.
Okay.
But we will have multiple residents, various places.
Okay.
Travel, but residents will be specific or manner.
And more manner. That's right. So are you like for me, I feel like if I'm married, my place is with my husband. Is that how you feel, Vandy?
Yeah, I've always felt that in life. I mean, I've felt this intuitively for a very long time that wherever I end up would be where my husband is, where his job is, where he lives. I think that's very important to me to adjust to where he lives and to live that sort of life. I am very much a career-oriented person. I'm a very ambitious person, especially with my career. But at the end of the day, I do value family life as well, and to a great standard.
Now, I know that Avery is his daughter. They have a daughter, Ebony. Well, they will be a daughter. How are you working with that? With the co-parenting, with becoming a stepmother, a bonus mother? How is Carlos getting you acclimated to that?
So actually, sure, I can go ahead and answer that. So actually, I met Avery on my first trip, right when I met Carlos.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So I met Avery that same Memorial Day week, the week after the Memorial Day party. I met Avery, and we got along perfectly well. I think Carlos will talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
And then I've met her multiple times thereafter. We just came back from a Disney cruise, which was fantastic, and she had a great time.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about being. I won't call it a stepmom. I'll call it a bonus mom.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that as well, and I'm glad Carlos has that experience of being a father. That's very important to me for our future and us having children.
Let me ask Carlos this. Do you want more children?
I do. I've always wanted a son. I love.
Gosh, you can't get it. And I know you're saying such good stuff.
Babe, do you think you can maybe try to hold your phone closer?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want a son. I'm proud to be a girl dad. I would love to have a son with Vandy and maybe a daughter. So we definitely.
Well, y'all got engaged quick, and it looks like the marriage is gonna be quick. So, can we say a baby will be quick?
We sure hope so.
Oh, okay.
And there's a reason we're getting married in January, because that's the very beginning of the year. So you have 12 months in a year. So
Anything can happen.
Y'all are so cute.
I know, girl. I know.
Oh, I love it.
I know, and that's the whole thing. Ebony and I are doing this. It's love. Like at my core, like I told Vandy earlier, I write about love, and and it's so important to have that in your life. Yes, Rose in the Wind.
What does it say?
My this is my book, Rose in the Wind.
Okay.
Mm.
The second one is out tomorrow. So everybody in this chat, make sure you go to Amazon and Barnes and Noble and get Rose with No Thorns tomorrow. It's out now on Kindle and pre-sale. But back about y'all. So you all have very like okay, so now we can hear you, Carlos. You being a judge and all that and in different places, and Vandy is doing what she's doing. Like, how do you all find a balance in your relationship? Because you got to respect what it is that she's doing because she's great at what she does,
Mhm.
and she has to do the same for you. So how do you all find a balance?
It's been so easy. I think the kind of balance is that we both respect each other's careers. We try to be supportive. I she I'm not just asking her to Mississippi. I've been intentional trying to help her find a position to what she already has. And so
Okay.
contacts and friends in Memphis, I've called and told them about this wonderful young lady as a physician and executive, and she's had it's been productive. So.
Good. And I mean, you got her back, and that's what's so important. Does he make you feel comfortable and you don't worry about anything, Vandy? Because that's very important for a woman. Like, is this your? This is you've never been married before, correct?
Correct. I've never been married before.
Okay, so it's very important for you to feel safe, comfortable, provided for, and all that. Does he make you feel like that?
Yes, and that's a big reason why I believe things have moved along so quickly is because he does make me feel safe and secure, and he thinks ahead of the game. So he thinks down the line. He thinks in the future, and me seeing that gives me comfort in knowing that he's looking ahead of me and he's looking out for me, and that's very important to me.
That's so good. Ebony, do you have something?
I do. So, Dr. Vandy, we know you are of Caribbean descent or born, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm of Jamaican descent, so I hear it. So, my question is actually for Judge Carlos. Have you been with a woman of Caribbean descent before? Number one. And tell me, have you had any kind of like cultural introductions, whether it be carnival, food, etc.?
Well, I can answer that easily. I have never dated a woman from the Caribbean, and I definitely have dated a Trini, somebody from Trinidad, and so this has been a wonderful experience. I have always thought exotic-looking women. I've been attracted to exotic, and she has that exotic look. So I'm surprised I hadn't crossed the path of a Trini, but I'm so glad that God had it for us to meet in May. And she's beautiful. She's lovely. I couldn't ask for any other woman of my dreams.
Now that we can hear you, tell us how getting Dr. Vandy that drink worked when you met her again, because I want to hear from you.
All right. So basically, I went to the table, asked could I join her. She said yes. We had small talk, and then I excused myself, walked around the class with some other people. Of course, she was not the only thing there. So there was another woman I saw that caught my eye that I said, and I had to decide whether I was going to go or shoot my shot somewhere else. But I felt more drawn to Vandy, so I approaching this other young lady. I went back to Vandy and offered her a drink and stayed with her the remainder of the night, and the rest is history.
Well, thank God.
He's keeping it real.
Yeah,
He's
he
keeping it
is.
real.
He is.
Now, have you had any interaction as far as with the Trinidadian culture, like food, drink, anything?
Yes, I have had curry shrimp. I've had roti for the first time. It was delicious.
Okay.
Vandy has cooked me macaroni pie, and we've had lamb, and we've had all kinds of things. So both, I've tried her food and her mother's food. And I am addicted to Trinidad food now.
Okay.
Who spoiled you more, Mom or Vandy?
I would say that
Uh-oh.
the apple didn't fall far from the tree. I mean, they cook similar cooking, so I'm looking forward to the holidays with my new bonus mom, and Vandy will.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Love
That is
that.
so sweet.
Love
I
that.
love that too. So, have y'all, Vandy, did you find any, what were your challenges? Well, oh, wait, before I say that, someone asked a question. Have you met Avery's mother? And, how have you met her mom?
Yeah, so actually
Mhm.
Carlos introduced us before we got engaged. He introduced Avery's mom and I.
Okay.
So was it a
And
conversation or just, hi, this is Avery's mom?
no, it was hi, this is Avery's mom, and her and I took it away from there. We're both in the healthcare industry, and I think we have that certain level of respect. At least that commonality starts there. And we just had a conversation about her and Avery, and that was it. Very, very simple.
I
I
think that
think that is such a great thing and a good way to start out a relationship, especially one of marriage. And it doesn't have to be, and I hope that it is like this perfect blended thing everybody gets along, but so much vague communication down the line can be avoided if everybody just meets up front. And I applaud you, Carlos, for making sure that happened. And also I applaud you too as well, Vandy, because some people may be like, no, I don't, shy away from that kind of thing. But based on what you said earlier and what he said as well about being strong and family and so on and so forth, that speaks to that, him having you meet her. So yeah.
Now, are there, if I could just, Carlos has been married before, I've been married before. So, I mean, Carlos, you can tell me how you feel about this. I always think that where you could mess up in a marriage is not identifying when your spouse has changed. So I think that's a really big thing. As Vandy goes on in her career, she's going to change and she's not going to be that person you married on that day. Carlos too. So are you all putting in the work? Like, how are you talking about how you want your marriage to be? Like, what are you talking about now as far as it's because y'all are moving. Mm-hmm. So like, what are you talking about? Is there anything you're not agreeing on, and how do you all come to a resolution?
We have similar values, and so we talk about our values. We talk about, since we know we both want more kids, we want kids. We talk about how we envision raising the kids, the values we want to instill in them. We talk about how to divide chores. Vandy loves to cook, but she hates washing, and so I'll get in the kitchen. I'll put them in the dishwasher at least. She cooks, so we're becoming a team, and we're deciding how to divide up the labor and do what we enjoy and try to be supportive of the other. And even when she's cooking, if she wants me to chop some vegetables, I not chop vegetables, and I never hardly ever go in the kitchen.
Okay. You chopping vegetables and you washing dishes and put them in the dishwasher. Okay, this is early on. 6 years down the road, you still gonna chop vegetables?
I'm still chop them.
You better write that down, Vandy.
I know that's right today.
Today's day. Judge Carlos decrees.
Okay, here's a good question. And I'm real big on this. Are they going to do couples counseling, clinical, or spiritual?
Yes, we do plan on doing couples counseling. We're even going to a marriage retreat, a marriage and engagement retreat in Phoenix the first weekend, October. So we're very intentional and getting the counseling, being around other married couples, and getting the counseling through group therapy or retreats.
That is just amazing. Y'all made my heart smile with that because counseling is so important. That's just wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that.
And while in Phoenix, if you're not afraid of heights, go on a hot air balloon ride. It is amazing and it's beautiful especially in Arizona. Just amazing. Okay.
So we might have to do that. We're both very.
Rainbow Riders. It's an amazing experience. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Okay. Here's another good question because these are questions that I mean I don't know, maybe I'll talk about this later. But Tammy is she got them today. Would there be a prenup? I know people hate to talk about that, but how do you feel about that, Vandy? I know he's a judge and a lawyer, so I'm not going to ask him. I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, I'm very open to a prenup. I think we are both at the point of our lives where we're bringing something added value to this relationship, and I think that that's important. I don't see a problem with a prenup.
Okay. How you feel about that, Judge?
Neither one of us have a problem with that, and I think we discussed that within the first week of the relationship, whether or not either one would be opposed to a prenup. She has assets, I have assets that we both plan to maintain separately, and then what we build together as a couple, as a family, that would be assets of the marriage. But we both have assets that we will maintain separately that was already acquired before the marriage.
Okay.
I think it's different when someone comes into the relationships with no assets, then that's a problem. But when both people have assets and they're both bringing value to the relationship, then I don't see a problem with a prenup.
That's good. I love how you all are so grounded. You know what I mean? And just all I can say is just stay friends, number one, and love will be there forever if you can just do that. Do you have anything else, Ebony?
I do.
Okay.
And I'd like to hear from both of them on this one. What type of advice would you give for you, Judge Carlos, a man, and for you, Dr. Vandy, women, when you're looking for love at our particular age? What type of advice would you just give to someone to keep them encouraged, or that things like that?
Babe, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So one thing I want to say is for someone later on, late 30s and higher, I would say that for a woman, it's important to find yourself and be satisfied with yourself and be satisfied being alone. Once you find safety and happiness being alone and making yourself happy, it's easier when you go out there to meet someone or you're meeting people. You have this aura of confidence around you where there's no desperation. There's no where your main goal is on a hunt to find a man. You don't give off those vibes. You give off the vibes of confidence and the vibes of that you are already set and you're content in where you are. So if you meet someone, wonderful. If you don't, wonderful. It's not going to change who you are. So finding yourself, being satisfied with making yourself happy. And number two, I would say keep your standards high. It's not just to be married or to be someone's wife should be the end goal. The end goal should be to find someone who adds value to your life, who makes your life better than it is being single. Because a lot of women can handle themselves being single, right? They can pay their bills. They can do their groceries, maintain their life. But when someone comes in and adds value to your life and you add value to theirs, that's where the relationship can really blossom into an equal relationship. So that's what I would say. Keep your standards high. Don't settle for just anyone that walks in. And number three, I would say something about Carlos that really was very, very important to me is that Carlos, I noticed this very early on, he loves me for who I am. So whether that is me, waking up in the morning with my hair all in a mess, me without makeup, going to the gym with my hair up in a ponytail and sweating it out, however I am or however I look and whatever I do, Carlos accepts it, that's me and has not tried to change me along the way. He accepts that that's me and he loves me for who I am. And that had been something that I really looked for in a person and that I treasure and that I've always wanted to have in a partner and a husband.
Oh,
Well said.
I know. What you got to say to that, Judge?
I got to come out with that. But, Vandy is beautiful. What's not to love? She's a wonderful woman. I believe she is my soulmate, and I do believe that both of us had to go through life before we found each other to appreciate what we now have found. I don't think if we had found each other and as college sweethearts, we would have appreciated each other as much. We would have been attracted to each other, I'm sure, but what we have really respected and appreciated each other the way we have gravitated towards each other at this point. What I would tell you, men or guys that may be divorced and looking to start over, be very intentional, be confident, know exactly what you want. Similar to Vanda, don't settle. But you have to know it's a balance. A balance. A lot of guys, I knew that I wanted more children, so I knew that I would probably have to find someone in their 30s or their 20s, and so. But
That's a little young, sir.
Too young. And common. I mean, she'd give me kids, but would there be any kind of conversation? And
Right.
so I finding Vandy at the age she is still in her 30s, but she's older and mature enough. We're 8 years apart, but there's still a lot in common. Enough youthfulness there still to keep my attention for life. So I'm very blessed to have her, and I think I made the right.
Well, that's all that matters. Keeping his attention for life. That works. That's it. That's longevity. Real quick, somebody asked this question and I had it written down also. So, Vandy, what is your love language?
Ooh, my love language. So I did the love language test, and I tied for two of them because I took it twice, and one time it came up one love language, and the other one it was something different. Run me through the 5 love languages again.
It's touch, acts of service, words of affirmation,
Quality time,
words of affirmation, and
Yes.
what's the fifth one? I don't know what the fifth one is.
So I tied with acts of service and quality time.
Okay. And,
acts of service, giving acts of service or having it done for me.
Okay, Carlos.
My love language, I would say that you're asking me how I express love? Or you're asking me?
No, I'm asking you in your relationship with Vandy, right? Hers is acts of service and words of affirmation.
No, acts of service and quality time.
Acts of service and quality time.
Okay.
So she appreciates you being there, and she appreciates you kind of knowing what it is that she needs. Am I right, Vandy?
Correct.
Okay. So if you had to say, what is it that you need for yourself? Because these are things that she needs.
Okay.
Acts of service, words of affirmation, touch.
Well, that's easy. I respond to touch, and so touch is important. And then words of affirmation. Vandy, what really endears me to her, she's my biggest cheerleader. She is always thinking on how I can improve my station in life, whether it's career or even telling me to pull this phone to my face so y'all can hear me. I mean, she's thinking how she can improve the situation. It could be something large or small, but she's always thinking and always a step ahead, trying to make things better. And I'm very much a person of faith. The Bible tells us that one can chase 1,000 and two can put 10,000 to flight. And so being with Vandy, while I've been successful on my own, I think that we would do great things together exponentially. It won't really double what I've done. It would be 10 times or greater what I've done by putting this putting this marriage together, putting this couple together, and we will build an empire and dynasty together. And I believe it will be one for the record books.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that. I love this for you all, and I'm so happy for you. So January, this is the. Do we have a date or we just have a month?
We have a month and date, month, day and year. January the 20th, 2024 at noon, high noon in San Francisco, California.
Why San Francisco?
So I chose San Francisco because I loved the venue at their city hall. And that's where I want to have the ceremony. So that's where we're having the ceremony. It's at they have a beautiful rotunda in the middle of City Hall under the dome within the building. I love the architecture. I love the regalness that the venue gives off. And I think it would really celebrate both of our interests and how we, our vibe really, what we enjoy and what we see and how we see both of us coming together. I can only imagine what the pictures will look like and and walking down the steps to him, and it's it just feels like a fairy tale to have
And she could just have whatever she wants, right, Carla?
You can.
Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's it. Period. No more words.
On this day, Judge Carlos decrees she can have whatever she wants. Okay, Dr. Randy?
Is
Okay?
this being recorded?
Yes, it's recorded. Don't worry, honey. I got you. So we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. But before we go, I do want to say that Judge Carlos Moore has he's a phenomenal judge in Mississippi, and there was a particular case that was in Oxford, Mississippi. It's going to be on TV1 tonight on Fatal Attraction. Is it 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah.
8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. He will be a part of that show. So if you all can go and watch that, that would be amazing. I'm going to watch it. I have it recorded. Is there anything else coming up for you guys? Like, Vandy, what are you doing? I know you got books and stuff everywhere. You got a dress in mind, bridesmaids, colors. Is there anything you can tell us now that he can know about before the wedding?
Well, everything he does know about that he should know about before the wedding. He's very involved. He is very involved in the wedding planning, and I love that. We sat down and crunched our guest list this weekend. He helped pick the colors. He sent me flowers, pictures of what the flower setting should look like for the table. So I am not in this alone. We're planning this together, and I love that. Looking ahead, I have the dress meeting with the designer next week. Actually, this week, meeting with the designer in New York. And we are flying out to San Francisco the following week to take a look at the venues for the first time. We are just really excited about this whole wedding planning process, and we're excited. I know it's going to come. It's 5 months away roughly. So it'll be here in no time. So we're just excited to plan the great event for our family and friends to enjoy.
Well, Ebony and I will probably hope, we're prayerful that we're going to be on a larger platform at y'all's 5th anniversary, and we want to invite you all back for a conversation. We'll probably have a round table and a network at that point. So
most definitely.
Yes. So we're on the way, I know. So Ebony, do you have anything to say before we leave?
I just want to say it was an absolute pleasure speaking to both of you. I appreciate your transparency and being vulnerable and open and honest. And I wish you guys nothing but blessings, plenty of children, and a happy, blissful relationship and marriage.
Well,
Me too.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy for you, and I really want to thank you all, because this shows, like, you all are definitely what I'm talking about with this series that we're doing, because it's hard to find love. And and like last week, the guy that we talked to, he was very intentional, right? And Carlos is very intentional, so that's amazing. So you're giving everybody hope, and also, ladies, he may not be where you are. He just may be in another state. So don't give up. Don't give up on love. Don't ever give up. What you say, Carlos?
Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive, and listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. You know yourself the best, really. I knew I wasn't going to find anyone in Miami. My gut told me, my spirit told me that I would have to venture out, meet him outside of Miami, and I did, and I took that leap of faith. And faith really did, I believe, have played a great role in Carlos and I meeting. So I'm happy that it finally happened.
I'm happy too. You all had a beautiful engagement, and let's see the ring before we go.
Oh, of course. There we go.
I love it. I love it. So you did very good. You all don't log off yet. I'm just going to say goodbye to the chat. I want to thank everybody for being here, and we will keep up with Carlos and Vandy. I'll have some updates, and I can't wait for you all to just keep on with your love and keep flourishing. So good luck with everything. So many blessings.
Thank you for having us.
It's your girl, Millie Chun, and I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.